That's what day it is. Day 67. Welcome back to the business journey. I'm out here throwing some undisclosed materials in the trash can here outside. And, nothing bad, just some stuff that I bought from Target. Anyways, today is day 67 of the business journey, documenting the business journey. Let's actually stay out here. You can hear the crickets, and it's actually a good temperature outside, so I'm going to do it. Anyways, so this past 2 or 3 days, I've been, getting back into the business in a way. First of all, if you're new here, I started this 67 days ago, and I started with a personal brand and a coaching business. There's so many coaches. I knew coaching would work and it would be great, right? But the issue that I had was I am not the type of person that wants to be in that like coaching spotlight, I am not much of an extrovert in general, and I don't want to be seen and framed as this like coaching guy in general. But also, I built a whole coaching business out on this website called Flowzy, and I had a year-long subscription, and it ended on January 14th. And so I was looking for alternatives that weren't like as expensive, but still provided all the value, if not more. And when I was doing that, I found this app making website called Replit. What Replit did for me was it allowed me to build a web app. So it's not an actual app on the App Store, but it's like a website basically. It allowed me to build websites for money, right? I paid like $50 and I made a really good website, completely custom to me. I could integrate like Calendly, I could integrate Zoom, I can integrate Stripe, like I can integrate anything and everything in this website. It's like better than Shopify if you want to sell clothes. It's better than anything, if you want to sell anything. So I think that it is overall the best resource you could have when you want to do a business, because you can make any website you want, anytime you want, integrate it with anything you want, and it's not that much money, and it's completely custom, and it's really not that hard to learn how to do it. And I was like, okay, well, let me make an actual app, and they have a setting for that called native iOS or native app. And so I started building on that AI like agent, and it was building absolutely terrible things compared to the web app. It was like it literally looked like I was like it was like 420p like Roblox looking apps. Like it was terrible. I was like, well, is there a way that I could make this web app, this website, an actual app? And so what I ended up doing was I was like, hey, agent that's building my website, is there any way that I could turn this into an app? And it's like, well, it's not really wired that way, but I guess you could like put like a capacitor in there. I was like, okay, what's a capacitor? And I ended up going down the rabbit hole. It installed a capacitor for me, and I had to go through so much to get to this point. And at this point, I have my app approved as of February 15th. And I've been promoting it for a few days now. I mean, it's March 5th. So I've been promoting it for a while now. And I only have like 20 users on the app and 0 subscriptions, so I'm not making any money. I've ran about $250 on Facebook ads. And I've DM'd probably, if I had to guess, like 20 people strictly on TikTok for creator deals. And I have one deal right now that I'm paying $25 a week, and he has 11K on TikTok, and he's posting pretty good content. I don't really think he's getting me any people to the app though, because the content he's making isn't super like, go download this app. It's more like, this is my day in my life, and like in the bio it says go download this app. And so I told him, like, dude, you do what you think is going to get you the most downloads, because at the end of the day, like, I pay him a retainer, which is $100 a month, but I also pay him like bonus on top of that for getting me downloads. And he's not getting me downloads, that's all I'm going to pay him. And if he wants to start getting downloads, he's going to have to optimize his content for better results, which is going to help me, which is going to help him. So yeah, but as of right now, I don't think he's got me more than like 3 people when it's been like 2 weeks. Maybe not 2 weeks, maybe like a week and a half or something. Maybe a week. But anyways, during the time from February 14th or February 15th to March 5th, I had 3 days where 24/7 didn't even look at the business or the app or anything. And I was doing homework because I got assigned a class online that I had to complete in like 4 days, a whole entire class. I got it done. I got a 90 on it, and I definitely cheated, but it was a tough process, and I did not look at the app for a single day at all. My dopamine completely depleted during that time, and ever since then, I've been very like kind of just depressed and like I don't want to do this business anymore type of a mentality. But I've stuck to it. I've stuck to the business. I've stuck to doing these business things. But I've learned that I should not force myself to do business at this time. Like I should always stay consistent with it. I should always give it my time, but I should never install negative beliefs or negative feelings into working on the business. You know, I should never think, "Oh, I don't want to do this" when I'm thinking about working on the business. I should never think like, "Oh, like a good feeling is me sitting on my phone watching TikTok." Like I should never feel that way. I should never install negative beliefs correlating with like something I want to do. And at the same time, I was really thinking like manifestation is the key to unlock my success in my future. And it is. But I'm a very realistic person. You know, when I think about like, oh, I tell myself I'm going to be a millionaire, or I am a millionaire, you know, manifesting an identity that I don't have. I can't like realistically like acknowledge that in my mind. Like I'm just too realistic of a person. I'm not that delusional of a person to the point where I can sit down and like convince myself that I am what I'm not, or that I will have this crazy goal or crazy achievement in X amount of months. Like I feel like if I told somebody I'm gonna make $1 million, I feel like okay, I'm gonna make $1 million, but it's gonna be in probably a decade from now, and I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get that $1 million because like there's so many variabilities and like possibilities that are going to present themselves and just happen to me during that 10 years. So I have no context to how I'm going to get that million. So anyways, I'm very logical, I'm very rational, I'm very just realistic with how I go about thinking things. And so it's hard for me to be delusional, but over time I'm trying to get better at it. And I asked ChatGPT, I asked ChatGPT how I should kind of handle this and deal with it. And it basically told me belief doesn't come from convincing yourself, it comes from evidence. And so me, you know, spending 67 days on this business, me, you know, putting in hours on hours, me going through all these hard system processes and like getting it reviewed, getting TikTok and Facebook apps published so I can run app promotion campaigns, you know, reaching out to tens of creators, emailing, you know, tens of people, getting deals, spending my hard-earned money that I make every week on like right back into the business. Like all that is evidence that I've had and that I've done physically in the past. And all that evidence builds up and it should promote me and like convince me that I can be and I am more. And so I've been trying to hold on to that piece of myself. Also, like from time to time, I'll get the idea, I'll get the feeling like how would, you know, my family members feel if they knew that I had an app on the App Store and I had creators all over social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, that had, you know, thousands of followers each that were working with me and partnering with me to promote my app. Like whether or not I'm making any money, whether or not I'm unprofitable or I'm profitable, whether or not, you know, I have been working on this for a year and a half, which I haven't. And, you know, I show these guys this app and it's like, it's not successful, but I've made an app at 17 and I've got multiple creators across all social media platforms with multiple thousand YouTube subscribers, TikTok followers, Instagram followers to promote my app. Like that in and of itself is so valuable and is such an achievement in my books. And just thinking like to tell my cousin or to tell my aunt or my uncle or my parents even or my siblings that I have an app on the App Store. It's currently on the App Store. And like there's people with thousands of followers and influence that are partnering up with me that I'm paying as a creator deal to promote this app. Like that is so cool. And I think that would make me feel really good. And I'm really trying to connect that feeling with current me. And I think that's very important. And that's kind of something I'm zoning in on and honing in on, I guess you could say. But also, I've been really telling myself I should not force the business, because I remember last time I was in a business, I was in it for 3 months and a whole bunch of bad stuff happened when I quit, which is why I quit. And I told myself now, like, with this business model, there's no reason why I should ever quit. Like, I'm never going to put myself in that position again. And it was just a really, really unfortunate hand of consecutive events that happened last time. And like the chances of anything that bad or worse happening again are very like 0.1%. So I believe that I can do it, but I also believe that I shouldn't like mindlessly burn myself out every day, like committing myself to this. I should take a step back and learn to love it, learn to have a passion for it, and learn to be consistent with it. Put in work every day and put in measurable work every day that will move the needle. But, work that isn't like 4 hours of just like miserableness that I'm just locking in and I'm just doing work, because at the end of the day, that work will get me to my goal and will move the needle faster than me like, taking my time with it and like feeling out my emotions. But the odds of me failing, the odds of me giving up, the odds of me quitting go from here to here when I like miserably continue on. It's only been like 2 months, so I really want to keep hold of my passion for what this is. And I think how to do that is to give myself space and give myself time. But I also do not want to lose the momentum that I have. I'm not going to, miss a day posting. I'm not going to miss a day doing, measurable needle moving work. And, yeah, I'm going to stay consistent. And then, some days I'm going to be more at it than other days. But like today, in the past 3 days, I've been waking up every morning at 6 in the morning, going to work, making my money that I'm going to reinvest back into the business. From 6 in the morning to 4 p.m. every day for 3 days. And that's exhausting, right? And then I have a girlfriend that I have to give my time to and give my effort to. And it's a blessing to be able to have that in my life. But like at the same time, it's something that I have to give myself to. And there's that aspect of it. And, so it's tough. It's tough this past 3 days too, because I haven't had the time to sit in my own thoughts and be so bored that I like start doing productive things. You ever have like only like 3 or 4 hours during the day that you're like, you have completely free before you need to go to bed, before you need to wake up, before you need to go work on something that you're expected to be doing? When you only have like 3 or 4 hours during the day to have free time, you'll often spend that time like dopamine detox, like just giving yourself dopamine and like just being bored until like you're so bored that you start doing productive things or you have something else that comes up. And so oftentimes me myself, when I'm working from 6 in the morning to 4 and I'm exhausted, and then my girlfriend wants to hang out, and then I'm expected to be to bed by like 9 or 10 to get enough sleep to be like happy in the morning for work the next morning. Like I only have so many hours during the day that I can feel like not bored, or not bored, but like that I can like give to whatever I want to give it to, right? But when like tomorrow, when I don't have work, when my girlfriend is probably playing like soccer all day and I'm gonna be sitting in my own thoughts in my own, like just in my house, in my room all day, yes, for the first few hours, I'm going to want to just give myself the dopamine, but there comes a point in time where like, okay, that's enough. Like I've watched enough TikTok. I'm kind of bored of it now. I watched enough YouTube, whatever. I've watched enough of this. I've watched enough of that. And it's like, what else can I do? And then you start like doing productive things, right? You start maybe cleaning your room. You start folding your laundry. You start doing your laundry. You start taking out some trash. You start hanging your clothes. You start doing business work, whatever that might be. And, that's the kind of state that I'm hoping to be in soon, which I will be in tomorrow. I will be in Saturday and I will be in Sunday. And depending on how much work I have next week, we'll see about that. But my parents are out of town for 2 weeks right now. So it's only like day 4 or 5 of them being away. But, that gives me even more of an opportunity to be by myself and be in my own thoughts and be more productive and really learn myself in this period of time. I think that that's a blessing in and of itself. for me, that I was able to stay here for 2 weeks around this period of my business journey. So yeah. But as far as what I did today, so I woke up at 6 for work, and I did work, but at the same time I was experimenting Google sign-in buttons, Apple sign-in buttons. So you know when you're on an app and it says like get started, like let's make you an account, and then it's like you can press a Google button, you can press an Apple button, and you can press an email button. And the Apple button is like sign in with Apple, sign in with Google, sign up with email. And a lot of times with those type of apps, you're like, okay, let's sign in with Apple. And then you press it, and then you like scans your face, and then you tap the side button, and it's like, okay, now we've created an account. And it makes it look like frictionless. It makes it more like seamless, like easier to make an account. And that's what I wanted to do with my app. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I realize that I'm still not marketing the app. I'm still just making the app better and building it, which I should not be doing. I should be marketing it. But I do have something on my side here, and that's that I've been trying to upload my app review to Apple Store Connect to get Facebook app promotion campaigns running, as well as TikTok app promotion campaigns running. And you'll know if you watch the last few videos that recently I have not got those running. And the reason for that is because you have to go through an extensive process with creating an LLC, calling a landline number you have to go into the office for, an extensive process to get these app events to work. You have to rebuild your app and wrap it up in this code to make it work. You have to submit it for review for a number of days and have it get approved for it to work. And I'm in the process where I've wrapped up in my app. I've, got the events working. I've called the landline. I've got the LLC. I've got it approved. And now all I'm doing is I'm sending it to Apple Store Connect, and they're coming back to me and they're saying approved or they're saying rejected. And today I waited 2 days and I got rejected. And I got rejected because it's data that the Facebook and TikTok campaigns are gathering from users. And I'm not explaining that in my Apple privacy page. In my it's not showing up, and Apple doesn't like that. Apple's like, you need to make sure that they realize what they're getting into in every aspect, so it's legal. And it's like, okay, so I'm going to reject this app, and you're going to make it better, and you're going to fix what I tell you to fix, and then you're going to resubmit it, and I'm going to approve you. So this is the 7th time I've got rejected in total. The first 6 times were all in a row, and it was before I got my app accepted. But this is the 7th time, and it's by itself, and it's version 1.2. And I got rejected because I wasn't explaining how I was using their data, and I need to re-explain it, and I need to do a better job. And so now I got rejected. It's Thursday, and what I'll be doing is tonight, I'll be going and I'll be rewrapping it all up, testing the events, and making sure that the current version of the app that I will be submitting is perfect, and that it meets all of Apple's expectations, and then it can get approved. And then hopefully it'll be approved by Sunday or by Monday, and I can get those campaigns running. But until then, what I told myself I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to creators. So like I said, I woke up at 6 in the morning. I went to work. I made $125 today. And I was working on getting the Google button to appear and work. And I was working on little bug fixes in the app. And I was making everything a little bit better and whatnot. And then I went home, and then I was with my girlfriend, and now I'm here. The day prior, I scraped probably 15 to 20 YouTube emails to reach out to creators with that fit a certain niche. And I told myself, while I'm with my girlfriend, I can just send those DMs. But in my mind, I'm like, dude, this opportunity is the only opportunity that I'm going to have to hand cherry pick the best opportunities, the best people that I've take their email, because there's going to come a point in time where I start reaching out to everybody in the space, and I've reached out to 90% of the people, and I've already sent an email to 90% of the people. So when I look at the market and I collect 100% of the market, or I collect 90% of the market, and I start sending DMs to them, and I mindlessly send this DM, I just wasted an opportunity that I could have captured if I sent a better DM. Let alone if I were to just spam message 100 emails to these people that fit this category, first of all, I would not learn anything from it. And that's very bad, because it's important that I learn from these emails, from reaching out to creators and making deals. It's important that I learn. Obviously, second of all, as I've already talked about, I could lose opportunities that I could have captured if I spent more time DMing them and emailing them. So I'm going to create a time tomorrow for me to be in a flow state mindset, for me to start looking for creators, more creators, and then start reaching out to creators. Because I can't just on a whim snap my fingers, turn around, get on my laptop, and go DM people. I need to be in a flow state to properly be able to do it. And I just couldn't be in that state tonight. I could be in that state tonight, but I can't, because I'm going to go, it's like 11:30, and I'm going to do the whole app testing process and get it set up for review tonight. And I mean, I'm just sleep deprived after waking up at 6 in the morning. So even me getting the app up for review tonight is a big ask of myself. So, but tomorrow I don't have work, so I'm going to plan on waking up around 9 or 10, and I'm going to do the outreach process. I'm going to make sure that I have the app up for review, and I'm going to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row, and then I'm going to plan out what my next strategies are. And yeah, but I think that by day 90, which is in 23 days from now, basically the end of March, I will what do I think by then? 23 days from now, 3 months in, I think I will have both app promotion campaigns up and running. I told myself that a few days ago. Then I told myself I want to have 5 creators that I've signed with, that I have deals with. I think that that's also very possible. I think 5 creators is very achievable. And then subscriptions and money, I didn't want to measure any sort of goal off of that, because I feel like that's just like the wrong mindset for me to actually be able to achieve that stuff. Like for some people, it's a great mindset. Like, yeah, I'm going to make $10,000 by the end of the year. I'm going to make 40. I'm going to make $1 million by the end of the year. Some people can say that. But for me, it's like, okay, even though even though my goal is to make money, that's why I'm building this app and that's why I'm doing these things. Even though that's my goal, I like to think in like progress. I like to think like, let's get 100 users on the app. Let's get 1,000 users on the app. Let's make our AOV go up to from $34 to $50. Let's I guess that's kind of monetary, but I guess like let's get the install rate from like a 10% conversion rate to a 30% conversion rate. Let's get 10 creators on the roster instead of 5. Let's spend $100 a day in ad spend instead of $25 in ad spend. Like progress goals that aren't directly tied to monetary gain, but like show that I'm like leveling up in the business world. Those are things that I think that I can really strive for and easily or more easily achieve, because they are goals that it's like, if I put myself here and I do these things, I'm going to get here no matter what. But like I could put myself here where I am right now and tell myself I'm going to do these things to get to $1,000, but that $1,000 could be made in a year. It could be made in 3 days. Like, it's just an unknown with money. You never know. There's never like a guaranteed payment unless you're working a job as an employee. When you're an entrepreneur, like, you can say I'm going to make $1,000 by the end of the month, but like, there's so many variables in entrepreneurship and business that you can't guarantee that. And a better way to attack that type of like those goals is to give yourself progress goals. So that's what I'm doing. Instead of saying, oh yeah, I'm going to make $1,000 by the end of March, I'm saying I'm going to have 100 users by the end of March. I'm going to have 10 signed creators. I'm going to have these app promotion campaigns set up and running, and da-da-da. I think that's a better way for me to actually succeed, because 10 creators, app promotion campaigns running, like a byproduct of being that successful in business is making the money. So Anyways, we're 25 minutes into the video, and that was a good talk, but I need to go work and go to the bathroom. So day 67 is a good one. We're going to get back into this business pretty deep tomorrow. I'm starting to get back into it. I'm starting to love it a little bit more. I don't know if I'd say that 2 or 3 days ago because I was completely dopamine drained. But we're back. Peace out. Day 67.